in various forums. She is an eloquent orator which captivates the hearts of her audience with her mellifluous talks. The insights she shares are simple and practical, making her talks easily applicable and adaptable in daily life. She is the whole-time director of KOTHAI Sri Ramalinga's Pennas Private Limited and hails from a very renowned industrial family of Tamil Nadu. The family business as a group is one among the large spinning mills in India. They are also into logistics, warehousing, leasing, ginning, pressing, and education. Her life is a fit example of a harmonious blending of spirituality in business, family, and society. With these few words, I present today's speaker, Brahma Kumari Sister KOTHAI, to the forum. Thank you.
Welcome, ma'am. The floor is yours, ma'am. Unmute பண்ணிட்டு ma'am.
Now, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Okay, good. I'd like to begin with just a few moments of silence, please. Om Shanti. Dear distinguished Rotarians. Rotarians are known for their service that touches millions of people all over the world. So it makes it all the more pleasurable for me to be interacting with all of you. Thank you for the introduction. I must thank you for the opportunity to spend time with great souls such as yourselves. The topic for today was facing challenges effectively. What I would like to say is, life itself is a challenge. But what is a challenge for one person need not necessarily be a challenge for the other. For example, for all of us in the meeting right now, breathing in and out is not at all a challenge. It's very natural. We're not even giving attention to it, but it's happening. But for someone who's on a ventilator in the hospital, it can be a challenge of life and death. To illustrate it even more, for example, somebody's asking me to lift up some book, a few books, to give it to them. It's not at all a challenge for me. Very easily I can take and give it to them. But if there was an ant that got caught under the books, for it to crawl out of the weight of the book would be a challenge of life and death. So what is a challenge for the ant is not a challenge for me. So what makes a challenge a challenge? It is our own strength. Please do not equate strength with money, clout, status, connections. Yes, they're all plus points. But the real strength is mental strength, spiritual strength, and inner resilience. Take, for example, we all like watching cricket matches. There are two teams who actually get onto the ground, face the ball, really take the challenge and play the game. Whereas there are thousands of onlookers physically present in the stadium and viewing on TV, millions all over the world. But all those who are simply viewing over the TV or sitting in the stadium and watching these players play, they will never be called champions. Only those who risk it and take the challenge, face the challenge, they are the ones who will be champions. So today we need to decide, am I going to face the challenge of life, or am I going to just be a passerby or an onlooker? It makes a lot of difference. I also need to tell you one more thing. In life, When life itself is a challenge, all of us are facing challenges. Some of us face it with zeal. You know, I can do it. I'm going to be a winner. That's how some of us face the challenges. While some of us face the challenge indifferently. And while some of us face it with despair and despondence. They just give up. So you need to also decide which category you are going to be in the ones who are going to face the challenges. Be number one. Be those who are willing to face the challenge with zeal, unstoppable zeal. Why don't we all like challenges though? We all think life is nice without challenges. Prachana vandata, prachane, oh my God, it's so nice to just be happy. Why don't we like challenges? It's because we are so used to our comfort zones. எனக்கு இந்த மாதிரி வீடு இருந்தா தான் I'm comfortable and happy. எனக்கு இந்த மாதிரி எல்லாம் servants இருக்கணும். My breakfast menu should be so and so. My office colleagues should behave like this. And some of us are lucky enough to get all that. And then we get so used to that comfort zone, we don't ever want to step out of the comfort zone. Take a little child, for example. When it's teething, it cries. It's a challenge for that little baby. Pallu molaikku munnadi, it was actually getting comfortable with the mother lifting it in her arms and feeding it milk, and it's actually happy. But when it starts growing teeth, that's a challenge for the baby. It's painful and it cries. Well, if it doesn't face that challenge, if all of us didn't go through that challenge, we probably wouldn't have had all these teeth today. So any challenge is for our own good. It never comes to destroy us. It only comes to lift us higher. Be willing to come out of your comfort zone. Take the example of a little seed. You know, you had the seed for a banyan tree. You put it up in a beautiful velvet pouch. And then you put that velvet pouch in a intricately carved silver box. And then you place it very prominently in your showcase. And there's an AC and the seed is really comfortable. But is that why the seed was created? To sit comfortably in your showcase. The seed was created to grow into a huge tree. If the seed is not willing to come out of its comfort zone, when will it grow into the tree that it was intended to grow into? So somebody had to take that seed out and put it, bury it in the soil. This reminds me of a Mexican proverb. It goes like this. They buried us, not knowing we were seeds. Meaning, those who threw the seeds into the soil thought, I have destroyed it. But then, because they didn't know they were seeds. And those seeds actually germinated and grew into trees. So seed was comfortable in the showcase. But when it was thrown into the mud and it felt all that darkness, what did it do? Did it crib? Did it complain? It simply brought out its inner strength in the form of roots. And what did those roots do? In the same soil that it was buried, the roots absorbed the nutrients and then helped the seed grow. It became slowly into a mighty tree, giving shade to thousands, bringing out leaves and flowers and fruits, and what a beautiful sight it is to behold. If a seed can come out of its comfort zone and grow into a mighty tree, can you and I not grow out of the same challenge that came to bury us? Today, let's make a resolve. Be ever willing to walk out of your comfort zone, knowing very well that only when you keep expanding your comfort zone can you really grow. So, with challenge, definitely there comes growth. I'd like to also look at these challenges in a different perspective. Why can't we look at life or these challenges in life as an examination? All of us took examinations, and there were challenges for us at those times. Uh, when we were not doing our exams and sitting at home, we could watch a TV whenever we wanted to. We could listen to music. If we wanted to, we could even sing and dance or eat or drink something. We were free to do anything. But once you went into the exam hall, you couldn't do all that. We are expected to just answer the questions in the test paper to the best of our ability. That decides whether we win or not, whether we pass or not. So when these situations in life come in front of us, why don't we just think this is an exam? In an exam, you never ask why this question paper came to me. Why such difficult questions come to me? If we ask such questions in the exam hall, we are only losing our own time, valuable, precious time. Instead, why don't we use our time and energy to think, what's the answer? What's the solution? What do I need to do? And just do it. I'm reminded of a very nice anecdote. Ram, Sham, and Krishna, three of them went to take an exam. And Ram was very, very well prepared. Sham and Krishna were not. They came with, they had made up their minds that they would just copy Ram, no matter what. So luckily for them, all three of them got consecutive seats, Ram in front, Krishna and Sham at the back. And then they were given the question papers and all of them started writing. Ram, who had prepared well for the exam, he could answer all the questions so well. Quickly he wrote the answers. Sham and Krishna, who were sitting behind him, verbatim, they copied whatever Ram wrote on his paper. They were not caught at all. And all three of them gave their answer sheets and they left the exam hall. Then when the results came, Ram got 100% marks. So logic will tell you, Sham and Krishna also should get 100 marks, isn't it? Because they didn't get caught while they were copying. But do you know how many marks they got? Sham and Krishna, who had copied Ram verbatim, got big zeros. You know why? Can you guess why? Because Ram took geography exam, Sham got a question paper of history, and Krishna got a question paper of Tamil. So you really cannot give the same answers. Life is like that. We're all so busy copying each other. Today there is this herd mentality. What one person likes, that becomes a trend. Trending on the internet, they say. Going viral on the internet, they say. Why? Because everybody follows one set rule. But life is not like that. If it's an exam, your question paper will have different questions, my question paper will have different questions, and everybody's question papers will be different. So if you really want to pass the exam of life, we have to stop following the herd and start thinking for ourselves. This is very important. And number two, if life is an exam, then we need to prepare ourselves for the exam, isn't it? And how do we prepare ourselves for the exam? We're all very learned. I heard so many doctorates, doctors are also in this August group. Lawyers, auditors, all of you very, very well qualified. That's external qualification, which is so, so, so important. Same way we need to also be internally qualified. We need to understand spiritual concepts. We need to practice meditation because in life, this is something that we need to really, really make it very clear. Everybody has challenges to face, but how to decide who actually won and who lost? I'd like you to think just for a moment. How will you decide if a person won the battle of life or won the challenge of life or lost it? Is it out of the money they made? Is it out of the friends they made? Is it out of their status and fame? Actually, challenges are aplenty. What decides whether you won the challenge or not is how stable you were while you faced that challenge. I may have made millions or I may have lost millions, immaterial. What matters is how stable was I mentally while I was winning or losing. This mental stability is the litmus test to tell us whether a person passed the challenge or failed in the challenge. And therefore, to go through the challenges of life, there is something called faith, which will actually make you so stable. Faith in yourself and faith in God. So what is this faith in myself? Because we saw when something is difficult to us, something that we cannot do is facing us, we call it a challenge. And then how can I have faith in myself? Just remember this. Every master was once a beginner. So today, the same situation which is difficult for me, very soon, I'm going to be a master of it. This is only coming to give me my experience. That's all. Take a butterfly, for example. How did it become a butterfly? It was only a caterpillar wriggling inside the cocoon. If it thought, oh, this is too much, I feel so lonely inside this dark cocoon, and it gave up wriggling, it would never have come out as a butterfly. Actually, an experiment was conducted with 2 cocoons with caterpillars inside, and the students were made to observe it. The students couldn't really bear to see the caterpillar struggling inside the cocoon, so they tore open one cocoon and they left the other one just like that. So when they tore open the cocoon, the caterpillar wriggled out and it was crawling, and all its life it remained a caterpillar. The other cocoon that was not torn open, the caterpillar was wriggling and struggling and really struggling, and one day it flew out as a butterfly. And then the teacher explained to the students, see, you thought you were being compassionate and tore the cocoon to make it easy for the caterpillar to come out. What you didn't know was that struggle that the caterpillar underwent inside the cocoon actually was helping it secrete. It had glands inside its body, and every time the caterpillar wriggles inside the cocoon, the glands secrete. And that gives it the strength to grow wings and fly out as a butterfly. So every time we're faced with a situation, every time you're wriggling to come out of it, it's actually building your own strength for the future, giving you experience. All of you are employers in some way or the other. When you want to employ someone, will you employ a novice or will you employ someone who's very experienced? All of us would choose the experienced one, isn't it? So if we didn't face any challenges in life, we have no experience in life. So to be really experienced in life, we need to go through these challenges. And to go through these challenges, take for example, that little child itself. When it was for it to come out of the mother's womb, it was a challenge. It came. And then it was simply being carried by the mother. Okay, it got used to it, comfortable. Then it had to crawl. Before it was able to crawl, it would have fallen so many times. And then it had to walk. That's another challenge. Every few months, it has a new challenge. So and all of us went through those challenges. So before the child really learned how to walk, how many times we would have fallen? But did we ever tell ourselves, no, I've fallen enough. I'm not going to take this challenge anymore. I cannot. None of us gave up like that. And then from a walker, we became those who could run. And from those who could run, then we became, I'm sorry, there was a phone call. So from those who could run, we started doing high jump and long jump. So all those challenges we easily overcame. Today in life, when there's a challenge, we find it so difficult. Why? The simple fact, in our childhood, we had our parents holding our hands, or our teachers and sports instructors who were telling us, you can do it, come on. And they were encouraging us. Now that we are adults, we are expected to encourage others. There's no one to encourage us. And therefore, this makes it so important that you have faith in God. Put your hand in the hands of God. Visualize yourself as a little child trying to cross a busy road. You just cannot cross it on your own. It's so frightening. But then if you were holding on to your father's hands, happily, fearlessly, so easily you would cross the road. God's hands are there for you. It's just that you have to give your hands in the hands of God. You need to have that faith that He will take me across safely. We all board planes, trains, cabs. Put your hand on your heart and tell me, how many of you said, I need to look at the driver of this cab, check his driver's license. I need to see the pilot to see if he has a pilot license. Did we do that? We never even saw the pilot. We got into the flight with the faith that he could actually take us to our destination. If we can believe human beings without even seeing them, why can't we believe God? All these problems of ours can be big only for us. Even if we were to put all our problems together, our God is bigger than all that put together. All these problems are nothing for Him. He's waiting for you to just give your hand in His with faith. Build that faith today. And then to move forward, we also need to know that all these challenges, really the challenges are not difficult. What makes them difficult? If you think about all the challenges you went through in life, they were merely situations. Go through the past. They were merely situations. What made it difficult? Two things. One, what will happen in future? You fear the future. And number two, what will other people think of me now that I have this challenge? For this, I need to give you a little story. There was a little child who came running into a hall. It didn't know there was a puddle of water, and then it skid in that water and fell. What would the reflex of that child be? Or the response of that child be? Don't say it will cry. It won't cry. It loves to play in water. It will look around to see who saw it fall. If it thought nobody saw it fall, it'll get up and jump in the water and play a little more. If even in the corner of its eye, it noticed somebody saw it fall, it will cry and bring the roof down. We are all little children in big bodies. Situations are merely situations. Only when we think what will happen in future, what will they think of me, the situation becomes a challenge and then we find it very difficult. So today, let me tell you, don't allow other people's opinions become your identity. Doesn't matter what they think of you. Did we ever think, what's the other person thinking about my question paper? We simply gave our answers. Why can't we do that in life's lessons? Just face the situation, think it's a lesson for you, learn and keep moving forward. It's okay in the journey of life. Sometimes we fall, sometimes we get up. Understand that every mistake is just a lesson. Learn and move forward. A mistake is not a life sentence. So with these few words, and because time is also up, I'd like to tell you that challenges actually, and especially if your challenge is very big, it's because God wants you to promote yourself higher. He wants to elevate you. Our LKG exams were not difficult. First standard, second standard, when we learned 3 times tables, 5 times tables, 6 times tables, so difficult. Today, is it difficult for you? It's simple, so simple for us. But we had to go through those exams in order to reach this stage where it feels that it's very simple. Same way, any situation in life, it's only coming to give you your experience, to give you your lessons, learn from it, grow, and conquer the world. You are all champions. You're facing challenges because God wants to show you as champions in front of the world. Om Shanti. Thank you.
Wonderful, wonderful speech, ma'am.
Thank you very much. So, can I leave? Is there anything else on the agenda, or can I leave the meeting?
It's a time for question and question answer session, ma'am.
Oh, sure.
The people want to ask
Anything.
questions. They ask.
Sure. Most welcome.
Okay. Time. Okay. Any can ask a question now? You can unmute yourself and ask question.
Sister, if I
Yes,
were to say,
brother.
I know myself, I know about the others, I can do it because it is there within me, the power. And I will do it. Will that be all right? I know, I can, I will.
It's very good. I know, I can, I will is a very good mindset.
Thank you. Thank you.
Just add on a little more. I would also like to learn. Because
Thank you. Thank you.
when there is a challenge, there's something for us to learn also.
Good.
So it's a
Thank
wonderful mindset.
Thank you. Thank you.
Most welcome.
Anyone else?
Excuse me.
Yes.
Go on, sir.
I think somebody should help
Yes, sir.
RK. RK தான் பேசுறாரா?
Gugan, sir. Gugan, yes, you can ask.
Gugan பேசுறாரா?
Yeah.
கேட்கலையே.
Clear, it's clear.
Yeah, I have a question about the Brahma Kumaris. I have heard that there is an program in Mount Abu, that's the headquarters of Brahma Kumaris, exclusively for educators. Would you please throw light? Because myself and my wife would like to attend that.
Oh, by all means, we would be delighted to have you with us. We have many programs for educators, not just for educators. We have programs for lawyers. We have programs for those in the medical field. We have programs for those in the administrative field, for those in the business field, in the women. We have about 21 wings catering to different kinds of people. But now, because of the lockdown, most of our conferences are happening online. So once the lockdown is lifted, then again, the conferences will happen at our headquarters in Mount Abu. And you're always welcome to join us at our conferences and be really benefited by them.
How we will get notified when the conference will occur? So is there any specific dates for the educators or something like that?
Every year we have about 2 or 3 conferences for those in the field of education, sir. So if through your president you can give me your contact number and address, we could ask the sisters from Madurai to contact you whenever there is an conference happening in Mount Abu.
Thank you.
And now from Madurai, they're having quite a few online sessions going on YouTube every day. So you may be interested interested in joining them too?
I attended it, ma'am. My friend, Sister Gomati is my classmate in school.
How
So,
nice.
so in Madurai. So I attended the YouTube sessions and everything.
Very good. Did you like them?
Yeah.
Good.
Thank you.
So you should visit the headquarters sometime too. Hmm?
We were very close last November, but we couldn't make it. We were there near to the Mount Abu, but it was very cold and I think we didn't make it.
Once the lockdown is lifted, you will surely make it. Okay. Madurai also has a beautiful center in behind Ramakrishna Mutt, Meenakshi Nagar. So you can try and visit it if you have time.
Yeah.
Any more questions?
I have attended the Mount Abu conference.
Nice to hear that. When, brother?
Myself, Valli Annamalai, you all know, Muthuraman.
Aha. Good.
Mount Abu happens to be place of my wife, she's very near to that.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Wonderful. Wonderful.
And it's a beautiful ashram there, that meeting hall, prayer hall, very beautiful.
Yeah.
I still remember it. Then we have a person from our club, he's a very sincere with Rajagopal. He also has attended that.
Acha. Good.
A lot of people, and I think Lalji would have also attended. I'm not very sure.
Yes,
Sure.
attended.
Very
Yes, attended.
beautifully maintained and very nice. It's a very lovely place. I think we should all go for it once.
Oh, yes. You are all most welcome.
Nice of you.
Lalji is very humble. He knows a lot about Brahma Kumaris and their connections.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
I
He's been
remember.
with the Brahmaris for so
And he
long.
lives near to the Brahma Kumari ashram. That side only he lives,
Yes. He's very special brother of the Brahma
Yes.
Kumaris.
Every year.
And last time we had friends in Lakshmi and then Mutya Mandram, no?
Yes.
So I and Muthu were there, and you were also come at a participant and you spoke also.
Acha. You
Yeah,
remember?
Muthu and myself, we were there, and
Okay.
we met both with Muthu. I met you also. It was nice,
How nice. How is Muthu brother? Nalla Kangla?
Yeah, Nalarkar. After that, he came to my house. We
Acha.
came. Just I remember, he only called me to meet you and all. Then you had come and we met and all that.
How
You spoke
nice.
very nice on that day also and today also.
Thank you so much.
So nice of you to have come over to our meeting.
It's my pleasure.
Thank
you.
Till recently, the Brahmakumaris of Madurai would like to come to Milan, the group, and tie this Rakhi on all the employees and give us sweets and the card also.
Yes.
Very regular feature.
That's nice.
President,
Yes. Ask.
President,
Yes, uncle.
President,
Yes, Partha. சொல்லுங்க.
இல்ல நான் ஒரு small incident சொல்லட்டுமாங்க? Small, I must appreciate the excellent speech that we are able to listen. I am really glad to inform you all about a couple of years back, they had invited all the sportsmen in India to come to Mount Abu. Then I requested, is it possible to take my wife also? That also they agreed. And it was a very nice trip and very nice experience for about 1 week. We stayed there and we had gone to the meditation place and all the various places. And the morning, early morning, one day they took us to a hill. At that time, I just had the bypass surgery. Then they said, you walk for a certain distance. For those who are not able to proceed, you need not go to the next stage. But I was able to go through the full 3 stages. Then the person who took us was very happy. Then I asked him, this bypass, will it hurt? He says, your mind and you are the best judge. You do it. But don't strain yourself. Then I've asked him, what about the yoga? It's a very complicated, I can't do some complicated yoga. He says, not at all necessary. You come for the class. some small stretching and nothing is okay. Then another great thing what I did, what I saw, one of the athletes who came with me, he want to break the Indian record in 100 meters. But he says when he runs, he feels that he has a pain in the groin. Then they took him, at least I was just asked him what is the thing. Since I take part in athletics, I was very curious what they're going to do. They asked him to lie down. Then the trainer, he had mesmerized. I was surprised. Then he says, you're going to start the race. Then I'm taking the time. Then you are selling 100 at that 10 meters. You are covered in so many seconds like that. You are selling. The finish, you have done it in 10.2 seconds. Then he just the mesmerism was removed, and then he has come back normal. Then he had asked, have you got the groin pain? He said no. Then he says only it's because of your thinking, your mind plays an important role. Madam, many of our top shooters in India, they got the medal in the Olympics as well as in world meet. It is because of the meditation. I am really thankful to Brahma Kumari for the excellent service they are doing for the community. And we sincerely appreciate all the dedicated service that you are doing. And I thank you for addressing our members. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. I want to thank Rotarian Karnagar, who is bringing ma'am for this meeting. Thank you, Karnagar. Thank you. Next agenda, madam, we will complete the meeting within 5 minutes. Finish the meeting, madam. Please stay for 5 minutes.
Sure.
Next for secretary's announcement. Balu?
Good evening, friends. Tomorrow on 1st August at 9 a.m., we are commissioning rainwater harvest project under Super 66 Rotary District 3000 program at Government Girls Higher Secondary School, Vattakadai. The chief guest will be Rotarian J. Ashok, Assistant Governor. You all are invited. And regarding our next week meeting, it will be on 7th August at 6:30 p.m. The speaker will be our own member, Rotarian S. Nadanagopal. He speaks on Rotary opens opportunities. It will be a Zoom meeting. Thank you.
Excellent. Vote of thanks. Rotarian Dr. Ponmira. I invite Dr. Ponmira for vote of thanks.
Sister Kothai, thank you so much for your speech, wonderful speech today, as all the members of the Rotary Club of Madurai West have already told. You have given us a game plan to face life itself with equanimity and faith. And not just for you coming here, as the members said, for the wonderful work that Brahma Kumaris are doing. We thank you so much. And you've given us such wonderful analogies to explain this point. Many of it which we could relate to. Thank you, sister, with more grace and faith. Thank you.
Thank you. The pleasure
Thank you,
was
Sister Kothai.